Alola everyone, Treyman1 here, and we're back with another Pokemon Sun and Moon anime review. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about episode 12, 13, and 14. Apologies for not reviewing these episodes when they came out. I've been busy with school, but I'm back, guys. And let's go to episode 12. Episode 12 is the episode where James catches Marini, and this was an amazing episode. This is the first time that Pikachu and Rowlet, well, Ash basically lost to Team Rocket. This was a shocker episode right here. I really loved this episode a lot. Marini fits James a lot. The episode was kind of a chill episode. The gang were on the beach. Team Rocket got a call from Giovanni, basically saying that they need to keep catching more Pokemon so they can be basically like, because that's what they were sent to Alola for. So they go to the beach, try to catch some Pokemon. They end up failing, so James decides to go to swim for some Pokemon. He goes for a swim, and basically Marini, he has a Corsola helmet, and Marini basically grabs onto it. Then finding out that James wasn't really a Corsola, Marini starts to fall in love with James because of what James looked like when the poison hit James, and yeah, Marini's just all in love with James. Ash and the gang end up encountering Team Rocket, and then this is where the battle happens. Mimikyu gains his boost because of Pikachu's there, and Marini was just going at it with the attacks. Like, oh my gosh. I was so shocked because Rowlet got poisoned badly, and Pikachu was just getting knocked everywhere. Marini was just, like, it was so cool seeing Marini and James. I can't wait to see more development between those two. Mimikyu was going to destroy Pikachu if it wasn't for that Beware. That Beware came from the water and ended up grabbing Team Rocket. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been it for Pikachu. Because Mimikyu's attack was so strong, like his tail just grew massively. I was amazed by the attack. But that episode was an amazing episode. Marini is going to be an interesting member to Team Rocket. Team Rocket in that episode. Apologies for saying also so much, guys. But Team Rocket make a new headquarters where Beware's like little area is. So that's gonna be their new headquarters for their time in Melee Island. And that was a great episode, guys. I really enjoyed this episode. And now let's go to episode 13. And now to episode 14. Episode 14 was a very funny episode in my opinion. It had many good comedy points in the episode, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Episode 14, oh man, this was not Kiawe's episode. Poor Kiawe was struggling throughout the whole episode trying to get Turtonated. So, basically, this is the Pancake Race episode, and basically in the beginning, Ash and Mallow are just Mallow was training up for the Pancake Race. Ash was like, what's the Pancake Race? Mallow then tells Ash, and Ash wants to go compete. Ash and Kukui go to this pancake spot, and they meet the champions of the last Pancake Race. And Ash is like, wow, I want to train with you. So basically, Ash and the champion of the original Pancake Race train up, and she actually has a Raichu. And Raichu and Pikachu rivalry comes back, which I really loved about this episode. Is that they brought back the rivalry between Raichu and Pikachu. And, you know, we haven't really got one of those since Sinnoh, actually. But yeah, that was a cool touch that they brought that back. The race begins, and everybody starts off with their Pokemon. Poor Sophocles ends up failing in the beginning. And we get introduced to Alola and Muk. Alola and Muk are the ones that come to clean up the pancakes that fall, which I really like that touch. When Togedemaru found out about Sophocles, she got so mad and just started jumping on him. I was like, oh, poor Togedemaru, because Togedemaru was so sad. It was eager to continue the race. Mimikyu, oh yeah, Jessie and Mimikyu participate in the race, and this wasn't fair. Mimikyu sees Pikachu and is starting to attack. One of the rules was that you can't use attacks, but Mimikyu was going to attack anyway. Bounce Sweep falls into Mimikyu. Mimikyu Shadow Ball ends up hitting the balloon that Popplio was carrying the pancakes in, and eliminating Popplio and Lana. That wasn't fair. Popplio should have been able to continue racing. Like, maybe they brought him another stack of pancakes, but yeah, I guess there's nothing we can do about that scene, so yeah. But I felt so bad for Properly on Lana because I really was like, dang, it wasn't really their fault. Poor Kiawe was just struggling pulling Turtonator. Like, come on, we gotta do this. And Kiawe just falls out. Like, I was like, oh, Kiawe. So later on, a lot of the other competitors get eliminated. And now it's just the part where the Pokemon race. And it's Pikachu, Quambala, the Beware costume, which I also forgot to mention that James enters with a Beware costume. And in the Beware costume is both Meowth and Wobbuffet. And the Alolan Raichu. Pikachu and the Alolan Raichu are basically in the league. And as they keep, like, as they're basically like neck and neck. They're basically like right there. Pikachu's in front, Raichu's in front, Pikachu's in front, Raichu's in front. And they keep going, trying to get to the finish line, but they can't seem to make it past each other. And then this scene is the craziest scene of this episode. Meowth uses some rocket boosters. The rocket boosters basically passes both Pikachu and Raichu. They're almost past the finish line until the real Beware jumps down, punches the fake Beware, locking Meowth and Wobbuffet in the air, jumping up, catching Meowth and Wobbuffet, coming down, grabbing Jesse and James, and just taking off. I was like, what the world was this episode? This episode was hilarious. Beware, I really like the Beware in this anime. It brings the comedy to Team Rocket, which I really enjoy about Team Rocket in this series. Pikachu and Raichu were so shocked that they forgot about the race, letting Komala cross the finish line and winning the race. And, oh yeah, Samson Oak was participating with the Komala. So Samson Oak basically wins the race. And I was like, huh? Because I was not expecting that to happen. I thought it may be a tie or Raichu would still won anyway. But I was not expecting Oak to beat Raichu and Pikachu. That was the twist and shocker of this episode. After the race is over, Ash's like, wait, where's Kiawe? And it just cuts to Kiawe still pulling Turtonator like, come on, we're gonna win. I don't give up. Well, not we're gonna win, but he's not gonna give up. He just screams, and we just see Sharpedo jump in the air. Poor Kiawe in this episode. But this episode had many funny scenes, especially with the Beware scene. I really enjoyed this episode. This was some good comedy in this episode. And at the end, the egg ends up hatching into the Alolan Vulpix. And that's basically how they set up for the next episode with a cliffhanger. So let's go to episode 14. Before I begin episode 14's part of the review, I just want to mention, there was a scene where Jesse gives Beware a bag. The bag that both Meowth and James were questioning earlier. And the bag actually appeared to have some Masaldas in it. So Jesse was thanking Beware for all that Beware has done for them. And like basically taking care of them, letting them stay there and all. And Beware gets so excited, it just throws the bags in the air once it sees the Masaldas and just hugs the mess out of Jesse. We also get to see how Mimikyu eats. And it appears that it eats from like the bottom of Mimikyu, which was an interesting touch right there. But yeah, but I hope y'all enjoy episode 14 as part of the review. And here's my review for episode 14. Episode 14 was an amazing episode. I love this episode a lot because this episode really gave a lot of focus and development on Lillie. I like how much development Lillie has been getting over the series so far. But, excuse me guys, I kind of wish they gave like some of the other characters some more development too. But then again, the series is just really starting up, so I can't really like say that yet. But I love how much development Lillie has gotten so far, how much she's grown from episode 1. So this episode basically continues on from the last episode where the Vulpix just hatched from the egg. And then Samsonite comes in like, oh my gosh, my egg's hatching too. So then we get a double hatch, where we get Cantonian Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix at the same time. The Cantonian Vulpix came from the one that Ash brought from Kanto. So yeah, I guess Samsonite was planning on studying those two anyways. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So Lillie tries to touch the vulpix, but she can't do it. It's so sad because she's so happy that vulpix hatched from the egg, but she just can't do it. Oh yes, Samsonite takes the Kanto vulpix and gives Lillie the Alolan one. What? Let the group decide, but the group decides that Lillie should have it since she took care of the egg. So when Lillie tries to throw the Pokeball, she's like, okay, go Pokeball. She throws it up in the air. Everybody's watching. And bam, it hits Ash right on the head. I was like, oh, dang it, Ash. But yeah, then it rolls off and Vulpix goes down to basically like see what's up with it. She clicks it and basically catches herself. I like how both Cantonia Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix have different personalities. Like when Ash rubbed on the Kanto Vulpix, Vulpix seemed to really like Ash. And it's funny because they're both from Kanto. Well, Ash is was raised in Kanto, and yeah. But when he tries to touch the Alolan, it just freezes Ash, turn his head away from Ash, like it doesn't want to be bothered. Then the Cantonian Vulpix basically uses Ember on Ash to unfreeze him. But it was so funny, like Ash was like, "Why you do that?" And Vulpix just rubs up on Ash while the Alolan one just turns away. But Lillie also noticed that Vulpix doesn't really show socializing basically with the other Pokemon. Because Cantonian Vulpix goes up and pushes the Alolan Vulpix down to go meet the others, but it doesn't really seem to want to be bothered by any of them. And I was like, oh wow, it's cool how they got different personalities. One is calm, cool, and wants to be to itself, and one is upbeat and happy. Like, that was a cool touch that they did right there. But later on, it's time for everybody to go home, and Ash and Mallow actually walk Lillie to the car, but Lillie says she actually wants to walk home today because she wants to basically get to know Vulpix better, try to be able to touch Vulpix, connect with Vulpix, and I really like that Lillie tried to do that. So Ash is about to go home, like, all right, Mallow, I'll see you later. But Mallow says, no, we're following Lillie. We don't know what could happen. She doesn't have that much experience with Pokemon, so yeah, I really like that about Mallow, how both her and Ash are older siblings to Lillie. That's really cool right there. But yeah, they go and follow Lillie. Lillie takes Vulpix to the massager shop, and I was like, where's Hal? Where's Hal? I'm just kidding. But yeah, they go get a massager, but Mallow and Ash doesn't notice this, so they're looking for Lillie. So Ash calls out Rowlet to go look for Lillie, and they follow after Rowlet. Team Rocket then come out the massager shop and notice that Lillie had an Alolan Vulpix, and they want to try to catch it. But James and Meowth and Wobbuffet notice that Jessie has another bag for massagers, and they're wondering what is this for. When Lillie and Vulpix come out of the massager shop, they basically continue walking home, and Team Rocket actually follows them. Once they notice this, it's a chase, and I really like how the buildings were curving down and Lillie was running. That was a very cool animated scene right there. This whole episode had a lot of great animation. So Team Rocket's chasing after Lillie, and Vulpix freezes the basically ground so to slow Team Rocket down. They keep running until they run into a dead end where it's a gigantic wall and there's nowhere else to go. As they're cornered, Jessie tries to get Mimikyu to attack, but Mimikyu just wanders off like it's not Pikachu, so I don't care. Which I found this very funny. Throughout this whole episode, Mimikyu just wandering off doing its own thing. While Jessie was like, come on, Mimikyu. But James and Marini go in, and Marini basically is just taking them out. Marini hits Vulpix and knocks Vulpix over the wall. And this is kind of like a very steep fall right that Vulpix is falling. So Lillie decides to jump over the wall and jump to catch Vulpix. And this scene right here reminded me so much of when Ash and Pikachu jumped off of the Lumiose Tower in episode 2. Oh yeah, before we get to this scene, when they was looking for Rowlet, when they were looking for Lillie, Rowlet was circling around I found it. And he basically brings Ash a watermelon. That was a cool scene right there. But as Lillie and Vulpix were falling down, Ash told Rowlet to use Leaf Edge, and Leaf Edge basically keeps Lillie from hitting the ground. Then Mallow catches Lillie and makes sure she's okay and stuff. This next scene, Lillie is just like, alright, now, wait, before that happens, Mimikyu notices Pikachu and gets raged up. Pikachu's about to go in, but Vulpix wants to give it a shot. So Lillie tells Vulpix to use his Ice Attack, and it freezes Team Rocket instantly. I was like, wow. Then Beware shows up. Yep, Beware shows up, grabs Team Rocket, takes a few steps, and then just like launches into the air. Then it lands on the building, then launches again, and then it lands inside of like the mountains. But yeah, they notice that, everybody else notices that Lillie's still holding Vulpix and is okay with it. Which I was like, oh man, such good character development for Lillie. Like, she's actually touching a Pokemon now, which I really loved about that scene. The next day, they go to the school, and everyone's astonished to see that Lillie's holding Vulpix, and like, she's grown so much. Vulpix then introduces herself to everybody, and they all having a good time. Togedemaru grabs Lillie's legs, and Lillie's just so scared, like she's shook up. So yeah, even though Lillie is able to touch the Kanto form, not the Alolan Vulpix, she still can't touch other Pokemon yet. So at least she still has some more development to go through for these next few episodes. But yeah, the episode, so basically Vulpix hugs Lillie and calms Lillie down, and that's basically how that episode went. I really enjoyed that episode. This episode was a very great development episode for Lillie. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And I'm still wondering, why is Lillie afraid to touch Pokemon? Because that is not answered in this episode. We might just have to wait till Gladion or Lucamine appears in this series so we can find out what really went down and why Lillie can't touch Pokemon. But for now, I guess we just have to wait till we get to those future episodes. The next episode is an interesting episode because everyone's wondering, will Ash catch a Rockruff? Yeah, because, there's been a lot of signs to it. We don't know yet, but we'll just have to wait for that episode that comes out next week. But these 3 episodes were very great episodes. I enjoyed all 3 of them. They were very balanced between comedy and action, so I really liked that a lot. And can't wait for some more development episodes for the group. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy Trayman 1. Peace out.